Welcome everyone, I'm Carolyn Boyd and I'd like to welcome you all to TNI's Lunch and Learn session today. We've quite a lot to cover, so I'll just remind us all why we're here, why are we all here and what's it all about. So Tourism Northern Ireland want to help you with some practical supports just to drive summer demand this year. We've been hearing a lot about costs and increased costs that many of you are facing. So these are some measures to try to reduce costs, to improve efficiency, and just responding to ongoing booking and financial pressures that we do hear that many of you are facing at the moment. So today the session will cover the latest consumer and travel trends that are shaping visitor behaviour, and we're going to hear from Darren and Patrick from our research team. And then I will take you through the latest programme, which is called the Business Resilience Programme, which is designed to help you manage financial pressures and improve your resilience. And then we'll hear from Bryony from our marketing team on opportunities and how to maximise domestic tourism and the staycation demand. And then we'll move to Mark, who will remind us how to maximise and all the great offers for this summer via Discover Northern Ireland. So firstly, I'd like to introduce you to Patrick and Darren. So over to you guys.
Thanks, Carolyn. So if we could go there, my name is Darren. I work in the Insights team here at Tourism Northern Ireland, and I lead on tourism performance reporting. I guess to set the scene, we use official statistics from NISRA to measure Northern Ireland's tourism performance, and then those statistics also play a key evaluation role in our tourism vision and action plan. Last week, on the 21st of May, NISRA released 2025 tourism performance statistics, which I'm going to present a summary of today before Patrick runs you through our latest primary consumer research. So if we could go to the next slide. This is an infographic overview of the latest 2025 tourism performance statistics. Just one thing to note is that these figures relate to overnight trips only. And you can see there, and the main point is that there were almost 5.1 million overnight trips taken in Northern Ireland in 2025, accounting for 15 million nights and £1.2 billion of spend. All three metrics increased versus the equivalent figures in 2024, but all three did fall slightly behind 2023 levels. You can see on the bottom of the screen there that the average length of stay was 2.9 nights, which was slightly lower than 2024, but you can see that the average spend per trip was broadly the same at just over £234. Moving to the top right corner of that infographic, that shows the proportion of trips by the reason for visit, and you can see there that the majority of our trips, over 50%, are taken by holiday visitors. And then over 1/3 of our visitors are here to visit friends and relatives, with the remainder being made up by business trips, as well as those who come for other purposes, such as health or education. We could go to the next slide. So this slide shows our tourism performance figures and the number of overnight trips by market. And this highlights that when we look at where our visitors come from, the overall growth that we saw in 2025 was largely being driven by those island of Ireland markets. You can see strong increases from NI domestic trips as well as ROI trips, while the GB market also performed well. International visitor numbers did decline this year, with the exception of visitors from North America. North America is an interesting market for us. Those visitors actually increased in 2024 quite significantly, and it's really encouraging to see them continue to increase again in 2025, likely helped by obviously the Open Championship and other things taking place in Northern Ireland last year. If we can move on to the next slide. Another key feature in NISRA's release last week was that they show trips, nights and spend by local government district. Now, one thing to note here is because of the methodology that NISRA use, we aren't able to compare this year's figures with any previous year. But what we can do, and what this slide does, is highlight the proportion of trips and spend that we see in each local government district. The key takeaway being that the benefits of tourism can be seen right across the region, as evidenced by the fact that 70% of our overnight trips happen outside of the Belfast area. And then if we could go to the next slide, please. And following on from that, this slide shows the full figures for trips and spend in each local government district. You can see that while Belfast and Causeway Coast and Glens do drive the majority of trips and spend in Northern Ireland, you can see that overall figures are fairly balanced across the other local government districts. And I guess just to summarise this, the 2025 tourism performance stats were very positive, and they indicate that tourism is in a strong position despite the challenges that we know the industry are facing. The Insights team will be producing a full suite of reports based on the NISRA release last week, and those will shortly be available on tourismni.com. And I'll now hand you over to Patrick, who's going to take you through our latest consumer sentiment research. Thank you.
Yeah, so this latest consumer sentiment research will hopefully add a bit of context to those stats, as well as be a bit more future looking as well. So next slide, please. So in relation to the research background and objectives of this latest piece of research, so this was our 20th wave of consumer sentiment research in Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland markets, and it's based on a survey of 750 consumers in the Republic of Ireland and 400 consumers in Northern Ireland. And this research was conducted between 18th of March and 10th of April 26. And similar to what Darren was saying, the full reports and summary of this research will be published on tourismni.com very shortly. So this is just basically the top line results of this research that looks at recent travel experiences in Northern Ireland, current attitude towards travel in Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland and further afield, and to understand what impact other factors such as the cost of living has on travel behaviours and travel intentions. So next slide, please. I'll talk now about travel experiences. So the first part of our survey looks at travel experiences to date in Northern Ireland and further afield. So the next slide discusses visitors in the first quarter of 2026, and what we saw was positive visitor volumes in terms of the numbers of Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland consumers taking a break in Northern Ireland in the first quarter of 2026. So 26% of Northern Ireland consumers and 16% of Republic of Ireland consumers took a break in Northern Ireland in the first quarter of 2026. And both of these figures were up compared to when we conducted this research in March 2025. Next slide, please. And of those Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland consumers who took a break in Northern Ireland in 2026, a large majority of them were very highly satisfied with their break in Northern Ireland. So 98% of Northern Ireland consumers said that their expectations were met or exceeded. 9 in 10 of Republic of Ireland consumers said their expectations were met or exceeded. And when we asked those consumers why they particularly liked their trip in Northern Ireland, the key themes that were coming out strongly were outdoor experiences, the range of things to see and do, food and drink options, and the overall welcome and hospitality. So the next couple of slides, we'll look at travel intentions then. So we asked people about their intentions to travel for the rest, for the next 3 months, and then looking at summer 2026. So again, these figures are positive. So 34% of Northern Ireland consumers said that they intend to take a break in Northern Ireland between March and June, and that's up 7 percentage points compared to last year. And ROI consumers, 1 in 5 of them said that they would take a break in Northern Ireland in the next couple of months, and that's relatively stable compared to in March 2025. And a very similar story when we look ahead to summer 2026. Very positive intentions for the domestic market and fairly stable then for the Republic of Ireland market. And we've also saw a reduction in the amount in the intentions to take a break abroad for the next couple of months. So fairly positive for Northern Ireland. Next slide, please. based on sort of geopolitical concerns and uncertainty, we included a question in the most recent wave around long-haul travel. And we found that 1 in 5 Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland consumers said that they've cancelled or are less likely to take a long-haul trip in the next 6 months. The other sort of 4 in 5 were either unsure or didn't know, and there was a very, very small percentage who said they were more likely. And the most cited reasons for cancelling trips were geopolitical concerns and cost of living concerns. And of those consumers who are less likely to take the long haul trip, a lot are saying that they would tend to travel to Northern Ireland or other closer to home destinations such as Republic of Ireland or Great Britain. Next slide, please. And then in relation to those who say that they intend to take a break in Northern Ireland, relaxation remains the #1 sort of driver for Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland consumers. For Northern Ireland consumers, other main drivers are to stay in nice accommodation and to enjoy somewhere in Northern Ireland that they haven't been before. And for Republic of Ireland consumers, it's all about escapism and to have fun. Next slide, please. And then I'll just talk about value for money and cost of living then. So we asked about the extent to which domestic and Republic of Ireland consumers think that Northern Ireland represents good value for money. So around a third of Northern Ireland consumers and around a quarter of Republic of Ireland consumers think that Northern Ireland is good value for money. Although this has decreased slightly since the last wave, both domestic and Republic of Ireland consumers continue to rate Northern Ireland as better value for money than the Republic of Ireland and Great Britain. Next slide, please. I'll just finally then talk about cost of living perceptions. Next slide, please. There's still great pessimism around the cost of living situation, with over 8 in 10 Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland consumers expecting to be negatively affected in the coming months. And this is a marked increase since the previous wave of research and sort of the highest percentage that we've seen from doing this research so far. So almost 7 in 10 NI and ROI consumers think that the worst is still to come in relation to the cost of living increases. And just onto the summary slide then. So in relation to key takeaways from this research, so this latest wave shows that Northern Ireland continues to be viewed positively as a destination with high satisfaction among those who have visited. However, persistent cost of living pressures are reshaping travel behaviour and increasing sensitivity to value. So this presents an opportunity to capture consumers reconsidering international travel, with around 1 in 5 cancelling or scaling back long-haul plans. So positioning Northern Ireland as affordable and high quality could help attract these value-conscious travellers. So that's all from me and Darren, and I'll just hand back to Carolyn.
Thanks so much, Darren and Patrick. So as you've heard, there's a lot going on in the research, and also just to say the research, if anybody's done their own, is quite expensive. So really value that those insights, guys. So in response to the research and the general rise in the cost of doing business, which is what everybody's telling us, I'd like to introduce you to a brand new programme which we're launching to support you and to help you navigate cost savings and provide expert guidance. So the Business Resilience Programme, which we have launched, it's live now. I'll just take you through what it's all about and a bit about the background. So as you've heard, cost of doing business, the climate is a bit uncertain out there, and everyone's telling us about operational costs. The visitors, as you've heard from Darren and Patrick, are talking about uncertainty, looking at international travel plans. Maybe people aren't going away as often as they would, but this presents a real opportunity for domestic tourism and staycations to increase. So in that context, we've given over to a programme which is really a series of supports. So I'll just take you through that now. So it is talking about managing costs and helping you drive demand, and we're going to hear later about opportunities to help you maximise that demand. But just to get into the detail of the programme for a second. So the programme is about accessing expert financial business and doing health checks and leaving you with a dedicated action plan. So it's a confidential service. Again, we will assign financial experts to you. It's not something that we will have access to. So it just allows you to work through a plan with an expert on your own and to identify areas of improvement within the business. So again, just about a bit more detail. So once you access the programme, and you can do that through an expression of interest, which is live, there's live links to that at the moment, and each business will get expert insights and data on their business. There'll be a bit of benchmarking, so you get access to where you're sitting, perhaps with your competitors, and each business will have to hone in on actionable and measurable areas of focus. So it's all about impact, cost savings, and really tangible areas. And hopefully it'll either steady the ship for you or potentially help you grow your business in the immediate future. And you will obviously be able to maximise these opportunities and look at your overheads as well. So it'll go through each cost centre that you have and try to identify where the quick wins are. And you will each get an action plan, and there'll be learnings and findings into the future. So just about how you access that, there is eligibility criteria, which we'll see. So when you go into the form, you will complete an expression of interest, and it's very clearly laid out what you will need to get access to the programme, but it is open to everybody. And just to say thanks for those people who have already applied. And the closing date is Friday the 5th of June. So it's a quick, short programme. We're hoping that we can get on with it immediately and see really strong tangible benefits. So really just encourage you to, if you've got this, if you're on this webinar, you actually have been sent the information. So it's just about going back into that communication and clicking into that, and you'll get everything you need. And just to say, the closing date is the 5th of June. There are other supports available, and obviously if you don't make it onto the programme or that maybe doesn't suit you, maybe you're too busy at the moment, there's a lot of information on tni.com about operational effectiveness. There is a lot of information on My Tourism NI, which is our e-learning platform, and if you're not on that, it's very easy just to get, if you're onboarded, you can just click into that and it will set you up. And so there's a suite of modules to help support you, all about efficiency, all about cost savings, whether it's energy, sustainability, food waste. There's a raft of supports there. But also there's other people that are there to help you as well. So we would encourage you to look at mytourismni.com, look at the ways to reduce your costs on there, but also you might have contacts with other parties. So we had done a quick scan of supports that are out there, and the ones that we came up with are a range of supports which we've put on our website as well, and those are with the Consumer Council. They're doing great work. Power NI are doing great work. Invest NI are also doing something. So it's just about easy access. So if it's not ourselves that you're dealing with, please reach out in your local council area, and maybe there's somebody that is going to help you as well. So just whatever you're doing, it's just a matter of trying to get through with the year and maximising this summer with all the great things that are going on. So thank you very much for that, and it's my pleasure to hand you over to Bryony, who's in our marketing department, and Bryony's going to take you through some summer activities, which again will help you thrive over this summer. Thanks, Finn.
Thanks, Carolyn. So I'm going to talk you through our summer tactical activity, which will be running throughout the month of June. So we will be driving demand for industry across our paid, owned and earned channels. And this is an overview of our top line KPIs. So in terms of paid media, we will be reaching over 45% of adults and generating 6.3 million opportunities to see or hear the activity. We have already recruited 100 industry offers, so thank you to those of you that have submitted those. and there will be an estimated 30,000 visits to the Discover NI page where those will be hosted. Across paid digital, we will hopefully achieve 20 million impressions and 300,000 clicks. On NIPR, we will have 8 to 10 pieces of coverage, and across ROIPR, we'll also have 4 to 5 pieces of coverage. Across our organic, social and email, we'll also be reaching over 33,000 of our email database, and we have 300,000 social followers. So in terms of an overall combined impact, that is 26.3 million. That's a fantastic opportunity for you to use as your shop window in terms of directing people and driving demand to your business. So we're going to be driving the demand for short breaks and days out across the summer. The tactical marketing activity will go live across our channels in Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland across June. The activity will be showcasing a broad range of attractions, experiences and events, alongside inspiring ideas on where you can stay. It's a cross-segment activity, so it will span paid, owned and earned channels, including digital, PR and social, and supported with a strong call to action, encouraging visitors to book a short break in Northern Ireland this summer. So in terms of timings, there'll be a phased approach across June. PR actually started on the 25th of May, and right throughout the end of June will be across all our different channels. Similar to last summer, we're going with a cross-segment approach, as all segments showed the same propensity to travel in the research. Digital targeting will also be expanded to an 18+ broad audience, which is a slightly different strategy, and that was as they're reaching the most high intent audiences in terms of travel intentions overall. So in terms of the segments, I'm not going to go into much detail for these. Across digital, we are targeting the NI segments, and across above the line channels, we'll be targeting the ROI segments. And again, it's a cross-segment campaign, so we're not specifically honing in on one of them. We are targeting all segments. So in terms of ROI media, we will have a 40-second broadcast video on demand running across RT Player, Virgin Media Player and Channel 4 streaming. We also have an SVOD 40-second on Sky All VOD. Both of these will run for 4 weeks, totaling 27.5 million streams across June. Across BVOD and press, and the summer activity is expected to achieve over 6.3 million impacts and reaching 45% of the ROI adult population with an average frequency of 3. So in terms of ROI media, we will have a press advert which will be spanning all regions. This will be a lovely double page spread, and that will be running across multiple ROI publications for 4 weeks. And that will be a nice longer form inspirational piece of travel content. It will be appearing in publications like the Irish Times, Irish Independent, Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday. This will also be complemented by a suite of classified offers, and those offers that those of you have shared with us, thank you so much. Those will be featuring alongside the press, just to complement that activity and drive demand towards those offers. The ROI market represents the biggest opportunity, so that's why we've focused on paid media there to drive demand for the industry. So in terms of our digital and social channels, for paid digital, the summer digital activity is going to be utilising a range of brand video assets, as well as static image formats, across Meta, YouTube, display, retargeting and Google search ads. Our activity is forecasted to drive over 20 million impressions and 300 clicks across the NI and ROI audiences. Our organic social will be underpinned by activity across Facebook and Instagram with a combined audience of over 300,000. We'll be using travel and lifestyle influencers to help us expand our reach and raise the destination profile. The launch of our Giant Spirit Creator Cup Club last month means we've been able to support more industry with opportunities, and I'll go on to more on that shortly. The email marketing we will utilise again to communicate summer offers and inspiration on where to stay, what to see and what to do in Northern Ireland. The call to action will be very much to connect visitors to the website and to plan their trip. The website will be a dedicated summer staycation hub, pulling in key messages, events and offers. And the real message across the campaign is communicating you don't have to go far to get far. In Northern Ireland, everything is easy, stress-free, convenient, and focusing on staycations being really closer than you think. You don't have to go too far to get away. So as always, our activity across the channels will be underpinned by comprehensive PR and always-on content across both markets. We'll be using press releases to promote events, quirky and unique accommodation, and providing summer inspiration on what to do on a trip for daybreak here. This will also be supported by media fam trips and competitions as well. So how do you get involved? We have created these lovely industry templates for you to use. The link below will show you how to access those. They're on Content Pool, and you can use these in your own marketing activity, which means that they'll be really nicely aligned with our activity and gives us all a stronger presence when we're in the market together. In terms of social activity, we also run a year-round social activity, which underpins everything we do. And these are some ways that you can get involved. Sharing high quality photos and videos with us is amazing, and we're always hungry for content. And these are some of the formats that are really helpful for us. You can invite our team to visit. They're happy to capture fresh video content to use across our channels. It's really important, as always, to keep your Discover NI listing fully up to date, especially with your accurate information or lovely imagery to support that. Also ensuring that your events are listed on Discover NI is great. We can't promote events that aren't listed there, so thank you for keeping your DNI listing updated for us. So I was speaking there briefly about the Giant Spirit Creator Club. So this is a fantastic pilot scheme that is being rolled out by Harry, who looks after our influencers. And we've created a selection of 8 Northern Irish content creators who'll be capturing and sharing their giant adventures across Northern Ireland, showcasing unique experiences, destinations and offerings with engaging social content. So these 8 particular influencers will be doing various activity over the next few months, and that will strongly underpin the campaign as well. So this is just a little bit about the process. Anyone is welcome to apply for this. I think Harry has actually been inundated. It's such an amazing pilot scheme. So this is just a little about the steps you can take if you would be interested in this. You can certainly apply to get involved. In terms of the content pool, so this is such a useful tool, not only for us, but also it serves over 660 media outlets, roughly 500 council and government and agency staff, 1,500 tour operators, and 12,000 advertising agency staff. So this is such a useful tool to use this as your shop window, if you like. It has a far broader reach than just TNI using your content. Uploading great content here means that you're so much more visible and in a wider spread audience. So it also includes logos and things you can use to get involved, and as I said, those industry templates will be on there as well for you to download. So in terms of maximising the campaigns on your own channels, think about how you can align your activity and messages with ours. And when we're all in market together, our messaging is amplified and it becomes stronger. Sharing your PR stories is fantastic. Again, the teams are really happy to receive any of that information. Read the latest sentiment research. some of the stuff the team have provided has just been so useful, and I think it just means that you're making an informed choice in your marketing. Use those templates provided to showcase your offers that you can download from Content Pool. Update your offering and listing, and again your events on Discover NI on your listing, and use the Content Pool. And thank you very much. I'll hand you over to Mark now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bryony, and thank you to everyone for joining the webinar today. I'm going to talk you through a few updates to discovernorthernireland.com and how you can use it to help your business this summer. So just moving on to the next slide. You may have noticed, I hope you have, that we've had a revamped and redesigned website. This launched on the 28th of January, but outside of any aesthetics improvements that you may have seen, we have seen some really positive performance indicators in the first 3 months since it launched. Our website sessions are up 59%, over 2 million. Users are up 36% to over 1 million. Returning users are up 13%. And then in terms of engagement whilst on the site itself, page views have increased by over 70%, now over 3 million since launch. Site actions per visit have more than tripled. Page scroll depth has increased by 197%, and outbound links referrals to partner websites and industry websites are up 6% to over 50,000. So really strong performance since the launch anyway. And looking at the makeup of this traffic, we can see that natural non-stimulated traffic makes up around 25% since relaunch, and that's around 900,000 visits. The flip side of that is that over half, around 60% of the traffic in this time can be directly attributed to campaign-related activity, clearly demonstrating the impact and efficacy of our campaigns and the benefits reaped as a result that Bryony has just talked about. But outside of this, looking specifically at Discover Northern Ireland, outside of this, in general, web traffic around the world is being hugely disrupted. And this is being driven by AI-powered platforms. You'll be very familiar with many of them, but in particular to the web traffic related to AI search engine summaries, which are ultimately designed to serve information quickly and efficiently to users and remove the need for web traffic and directing to other websites, which typically was the role of search engines. So typically they are negatively impacting destination and tourism websites at around 30% loss, which draws into sharp focus how well Discover Northern Ireland has been performing since launch and the trend bucking impact of our campaign activity. But these are also platforms that we need to work with and feed information to. The exact tactics how to do so are still in the process to being understood, and this is not just a Tourism Northern Ireland topic. This is a global topic. But we can see that currently Discover Northern Ireland over the last 3 months has served around 100,000 AI citations. So it's 100,000 AI-powered queries where Discover Northern Ireland has helped inform the answer, with on average 190 unique individual pages each day informing these queries. So with information now more discoverable on Discover Northern Ireland, as we can see from the statistics, and across the website itself via the AI-powered searches, it's really never been more vital to ensure that listings and information is updated and accurate. And this is is of particular pertinence with the impending summer tactical activity that Bryony has spoken about imminently being launched, and the stimulus that this is expected to bring. And also with the Flacule coming in August, this will only create greater interest in Belfast and Northern Ireland. Just move it over to the next slide. And to help aid this interest with the flagule coming in August, we have created a FLA visitor planning section on Discover Northern Ireland, using our new design layout, again, making it easier for information to be discovered and interacted with. And this hosts travel information, bespoke itineraries with more to come prior to the event itself, things to do and events outside of the FLA itself, frequently asked questions, and accommodation and listings. Additionally, we are sharing our accommodation listings with flagule.ie, and that is bringing added impact and discoverability to the industry using the FLA's own website as well. To date, the two platforms, on the one in Discover Northern Ireland and on flagule.ie, they've received around 150 visits to date. Well, in fact, over that amount, with over 10% visiting those accommodation pages. So it's really important to make sure that information is updated and correct. And as a wider point, this is a huge opportunity to get involved. We have around 700,000 visitors expected for the event in the week of the 2nd to the 9th of August. And we would love you to use Discover Northern Ireland to help maximise this opportunity. So how can you do that? Just moving on to the next slide. Think about how you can align your product and offering with the event itself. Thereby, how can you enhance your appeal to the FLA visitor through standing out and maybe creating a unique package, a unique offer, a unique partner event, or maybe limited time arrangements specific to the festival or that week of the 2nd to the 9th of August. This can include a special or theme menu. It could be extended opening hours, or added benefits to customers who have attended a FLA event. On a more basic level, as Bryony has mentioned just there now, it just ensures that your latest availability and pricing is updated, and it is specifically referenced regarding the FLA on Discover Northern Ireland. And also, again, if for accommodation providers, this will also then feed through to the dedicated flagule.ie website. Conversely, if you've already received the benefit of the event coming, you have no availability or no capacity to take any further bookings, please also let us know and make sure you're removed from any relevant listings. It will help benefit customers and help minimise fielding any customer inquiries which can't yield any business. We really just want you to make it easy for visitors to choose you and use Discover Northern Ireland to do this. And another key point to really think about is, and the benefits are beyond this summer. The event's coming back in 2027. So putting your best foot forward this year will put you in the best position for repeat business next year. I mean, one thing's for sure, the event's coming, there's a party coming, and you're all invited to take part. So please do so, and please use Discover Northern Ireland as much as you can to do that. So thank you very much for listening. I'll pass you back now to Carolyn.
Thanks so much, Mark. Yeah, that's a lot to take in, folks, and there is a lot going on, but hopefully we've managed to put it into bite-sized chunks for you. So thanks for everybody, all the speakers today. And we've had a few questions in. So the first one is about costs. Now, amazingly, most of the stuff you've heard today, there is very little or no cost. The cost of the Business Resilience Programme is only really your time. So as we say, there's no cost to participate, but the expert advice we've worked out per business, the cost of expert advice would probably be around about £1,000 per business. So really worth having a look at that and applying. And obviously, if you've any doubt, just phone us. If you're looking at the forum and you're not sure if it's for you, then just give us a ring. Also, we've had another question in about getting information about more businesses who want to do more business in the south of Ireland. So I'm just wondering if, Bryony, are you okay to take that one from your marketing perspective?
Yes, of course, Carolyn, no worries. So in terms of, I'm imagining you're a business based in Northern Ireland, asking about getting more customers from the ROI market. So yeah, there's a number of things you can do. The slide that we've covered just shortly a little time ago was on just sort of the marketing opportunities there. So that's a really good sort of key oversight on what you could do. I'd also advise you to read those NI and ROI strategies that the Insights team have provided on what markets have in terms of their media consumption behaviour. For example, Northern Ireland are more engaged via influencers and peer recommendations and word of mouth than traditional media channels. Also understand your audience segments. What are their motivations? What are their barriers? And read the latest research on TNI, because we'd be very tuned in on what's happening, and I would definitely tailor your marketing to that. If you can clearly understand what your offering is and what segments and markets will appeal to you, then work your marketing plans around that. Again, making it as frictionless as possible. People are busy, make it easy to book whatever your experience is. You can draw up itineraries and packages. The new website has a lovely itinerary builder on there. So yeah, you can engage with that and help. Also, what is your unique selling point for the ROI market? What makes you different from the industry there? And why would they travel to come up either for a day trip or a short break? So those are just some things that you can do. And hopefully this webinar has also provided you with some other ideas there. Thank you.
Thanks, Bryony. That's great. Yeah, I think obviously everything today should be focusing on trying to maximise opportunities to help you to grow your business or cut your costs, which is the whole focus. So there's a few more questions that we probably don't have time to take, but we will get back to everyone individually, and not everybody wants to ask a question online openly. So if you have any other questions, just put them in the chat or contact us and we'll get back to you. So thanks very much for joining us today. Our next webinar is planned for Tuesday the 9th of June. Again, it's a lunch and learn, and as Mark touched on the FLA, it will be a deep dive about the FLA, which is imminent. And obviously you've got all the dates there. There's lots of information. So please feel free to register now for that. That's live, and there'll be more events coming through in the next couple of months. So look forward to seeing you there, and see you all very soon, and have a great day. Thank you.